Arsenal's interest in a certain Eberechi Eze from Crystal Palace all this week. Where do we stand on that one now, Mark?
Yeah, still no formal club-to-club contact at this stage, but we know that Eberechi Eze has a release clause, which we understand to be 60 million plus 8 million in add-ons. However, it's just a case of who wants to trigger that and pay that in its current terms. Now, the terms will probably be quite strict with regards to the payment structure and the way that the buying club has to do this. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on. We know that Mikel Arteta is keen on the player, likes Eze. He's just had a fantastic campaign. He's been one of those players who's been sensational since he's come in from Queen's Park Rangers. Is this the summer where he gets that big money move? One to keep an eye on. Yeah, conflicting reports on this release clause, actually, because a few reports suggesting his release clause actually expires today. Okay. Well, there's other reports saying that there is an expiration date, but it's not necessarily today. And I think sometimes clubs like to negotiate on a release clause anyway. They sometimes might want to pay a bit more than the release clause in return for more favourable payment terms. So I think it's definitely one to keep an eye on Eberechi Eze as we get towards the end of this transfer window. As much as Crystal Palace will not want to see him go, there is definitely an interest there from Arsenal. Michael?
Actually, to be fair, though, we've kind of picked them with you, haven't we? Yeah. We've just gone with the three behind me. So Gyökeres, João Pedro and Ødegaard. We're going to ask you, Jay, which of those three do you think is going to have the biggest impact and why?
Well, I hope it's Gyökeres. I hope it's Gyökeres. But
who do you think?
Objectively, I think it will be João Pedro, because Chelsea create a lot of chances, and Jackson last year, and even the year before, as much as he scored goals, some very good goals, he missed a lot of chances as well. And I feel like João Pedro, he's a very good player because I wouldn't say he's a typical number 9. He gets involved in the play. You see him at Brighton. He gets involved in the play, he drifts, but then he gets back in the box. And when he's in the box, he's calm on the ball. He's not like slashing at things. You see like a real confidence as when he's in around there, I can score my left foot, I can score my right foot. If I need to take a touch, I'll take a touch. His awareness of where he is away from defenders, whether it's taking that first touch past the defender and then shooting quickly, he has that in abundance. And I think he will be very important for Chelsea. And if he can score the goals and get to, I always say, if you're a team and you have a player that is scoring 20 Premier League goals in a year, you're going to have a chance of winning the title.
Gyökeres has scored the most goals out of those three, but is he the one who's making the biggest step up? Is there the sort of biggest question mark over him?
Yeah. Yeah, as much as, I'm really happy to see that we have signed a number 9. But there are questions about Gyökeres because, a lot of his goals last season were against like bottom half teams. Obviously, there was a lot of penalties as well. I think the way he played at Sporting is going to be different to the way at Arsenal. He's not going to be able to be running kind of, I wouldn't say channels, but down the sides of, in between fullbacks and centre halves, because a lot of teams will just sit off against Arsenal and, kind of say break us down. So he's going to have to evolve his game. He's going to be having to come off into areas and be cute, little 1-2s. His awareness needs to be good. And then when crosses go in the box, he needs to be there to score headers, get them ugly goals. He didn't score a header last year. So that will be the questionable things. But there's no doubt, he's a physical specimen. He's strong, he's fast. And when the balls do get played over the top, yeah, he's powerful and he has scored some unbelievable goals as well.
You mentioned the difference in styles as a forward. I mean, like you said there, at Arsenal, it will be different to Sporting Lisbon. You often play teams, they play in a different style. They'll often play against teams who sit back in a deep block. So as a forward, how do you adapt to that? And how do you think he'll find the Premier League?
That's a very good question. I think he's going to find the Premier League very hard. I mean, there's no disrespect to the Portuguese league, but I think by Opta, the Championship is rated higher than the Portuguese league. And, he done all right at Coventry, scored some important goals. But ultimately, when you come and play in the Premier League, you're playing against top-class defenders every single week, pretty much. They're all fast. They're all strong. So, that kind of physical battle that you might have the edge over in the Portuguese league, you don't have that in the Premier League. So then what do? You have to use your football IQ. You have to be cute around the